My whole life I have never fit the profile. You would look at me and you would assume what I am and what I like or what my interests are. You would be entirely wrong every time. When you think of somebody doing the kind of work that would be interested in terrorism, that would, actively communicate and engage with these individuals, you don't think of it as a person from Montana, let alone a white blonde woman from Montana, let alone a sitting judge in the state of Montana. I was a typical mom. I had 3 kids. They were all in school, going to school. I initially wanted to really understand how 9/11 could have ever happened, what kind of people would ever do this. Before I chose the law, I was really interested in behavior profiling. Why do they think this way? How can they conclude these things? It clicked that, they have an entirely different mindset. They were talking about chatter. I wanted to know what they were saying. I signed up for some online classes and started trying to learn Arabic that way, and eventually the thought trickled into my mind, I wonder if I could actually try and communicate with some of these people online. Establish your bona fides as a jihadi. I would kind of create my own little inner circle, and it's always me playing these different smaller characters. I would kill them off and never use them again to prop up my big character, Abu Zaida. He came from Baluchistan and then have a minion like Abu Musa. I would be ordering this one to do this, that, and the other and playing all this out. And as I'm doing all this, I'm gaining a following. So I was calling all the brothers to go to training sites for jihad. Inevitably, they would want to go for a meet. It worked. So I made myself learn how to think like that. A U.S. citizen who was an active member of the U.S. Army. He wanted all members of his Abrams tank squad killed. He wanted it done in the name of Al-Qaeda. I took him on and countered him and dismissed him a few times, and he kept coming back. I had profiled him under every track I could find with him on the internet, every email identity he used on public boards, as well as the Arabic message boards. And I thought I would just drive it down to the Great Falls FBI office, which was our closest field office to where I lived, and they would know what to do with it. So they were trying to dismiss me like, I have too much time on my hands and this, that, and the other, and I eventually finally got mad. And I slapped down my Supreme Court credentials and said, no, I am dead serious and I want you to look at this. He was convicted by the officers panel on all 5 counts. All right.
If you're from Montana, you dip your burgers in ranch. Unless you're my mom.
My once quiet life as a judge, as a mother, as a wife, I was realizing my life is never going to be the same again. I worked in that capacity as an intelligent asset regularly through 2011. I still work with the government. I still work in investigations. I can't talk specifically about the work that I'm doing, but I can spot pedophiles like nothing. I came along at a time when it was new territory that hadn't been really broken yet, but now there are sufficiently trained intelligence officials doing these kinds of things that the need for someone like me in doing exactly the work that I was doing is kind of moot at this point. But that doesn't mean that the work doesn't go on. It goes on into other areas and into other things.